The moon has always been our companion for eons, but on certain nights, it becomes something else entirely. When Earth's shadow falls across it, and its pale light turns a blood-red crimson, the blood moon rises. And with it, fear, prophecy, and legend. Later this week, on the 7th of September, 2025, the moon will again turn blood red, offering a rare glimpse into the sky that has haunted humanity for millennia. Today, we'll journey through the myths of dragons and jaguars, the fears of emperors and prophets, the sacrifices of kings and commoners, to uncover why the blood moon has always been more than an eclipse. From Babylon to the Bible, from Alexander the Great to Abraham Lincoln, we'll trace the crimson shadow that has haunted humanity for thousands of years and ask, is it only light and shadow, or is the blood moon still whispering to us today? The Omen of Kings in Mesopotamia. 4,000 years ago, in Mesopotamia, the blood moon may have been a warning from the gods. Priests and kings watched the skies carefully. Some records suggest that when the moon turned red, rulers were thought to be in danger. In extraordinary cases, they may have placed a substitute king on the throne, a figure intended to absorb the curse until the danger passed. When the red glow faded, the substitute was removed. While these acts seem extreme to us, they show the mixture of superstition, politics, and fear that the blood moon inspired. The dragon in the sky. In ancient China, it was said that a celestial dragon might devour the moon. When a lunar eclipse reddened its surface, villagers reportedly clashed cymbals, beat drums, and fired arrows into the sky to scare the beast away. Scholars and court astrologers sometimes interpreted the blood moon as a warning of imbalance between heaven and earth, and the emperor could use it to reinforce his authority. Chinese folklore also tells the story of Chang'e, the moon goddess, who lives alone on the moon after drinking an elixir of immortality. Some legends suggest that eclipses and blood-red moons were interpreted as signs of her sorrow or struggles in the heavens. Villagers may have viewed the moon's crimson hue as a reflection of her grief or of cosmic tension, adding a deeply human, mythical dimension to an already awe-inspiring event. Even when astronomers could predict the event, the fear and ritual persisted, showing how cosmic phenomena became entwined with governance, mythology, and awe. In this way, the blood moon was never just a celestial shadow, but a story written across the sky, blending myth, politics, and human imagination. Jaguars of the night. In the dense jungles of Mesoamerica, the blood moon was never just an eclipse. To the Maya, its crimson light could signal that the heavens were under attack. They believed that jaguars, powerful cosmic predators, might be devouring the moon itself, clawing at its surface until only darkness remained. A lunar eclipse was a battle, and humanity's fate hung in the balance. Fear spread through villages when the moon turned red. Women and children were sometimes kept indoors, protected from the dangerous light. Rituals were performed in the open plazas, incense rising, drums beating, chants filling the night air. Some sources suggest that offerings of blood, or even sacrifice, may have been made to restore cosmic balance, to feed the gods so they would defend the moon and ensure the survival of the world. For the Aztecs, the blood moon also carried political weight. Rulers could claim that through ritual, they had the power to save the moon from the jaguars. By presiding over ceremonies, emperors reinforced their divine authority, proving themselves not only as earthly kings, but as cosmic guardians. A celestial shadow became a tool of governance. Its crimson glow turned into proof of power. Here, myth, ritual, and politics merged. The blood moon was a stage where humans, gods, and jaguars fought unseen battles across the sky. And under its glow, whole civilizations drew meaning, fear, and identity from the heavens. Across the Americas, indigenous peoples watched the moon with reverence and care. To the Inuit, a red moon might signal the anger of spirits. To the Lakota, the moon could appear wounded, calling for prayer and reflection. The Hopi and Navajo saw the blood moon as a disruption in the cosmic balance, a time for silence, ritual, and introspection. In the highlands of South America, The Inca and other Andean cultures also observed the blood moon carefully. Some traditions suggest that a red moon was a warning from the gods, often connected to agriculture, seasonal cycles, or potential disruption. Rituals may have included offerings or ceremonies intended to restore harmony, protect the community, and maintain cosmic balance. The moon's appearance reminded humans of their dependence on the heavens, the earth, and the spirits that governed both. In Mesoamerica, the Maya and Aztecs acted to protect their people, performing ceremonies and sacrifices to restore harmony. Across continents, the blood moon reminded humans of their place in a larger universe, a subtle warning that the sky and the earth are intimately connected. The crucifixion and apocalyptic symbolism. Some scholars suggest that at the time of the crucifixion of Jesus, a lunar eclipse may have occurred, causing the moon to appear blood red at sunset. Early Christians may have seen this as a cosmic confirmation of divine events, prophecy fulfilled in the heavens. Across the Bible, passages describe the sun darkened and the moon turning to blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. From ancient omens to modern prophecy, the blood moon has carried both warning and meaning, a celestial signal that humans have struggled to interpret for millennia. Islamic tradition and the Crusades. In Islamic tradition, lunar eclipses were observed as a natural phenomenon, a reminder of God's order, prompting special prayer and reflection known as Salat al-Kusuf. Unlike in some other cultures, eclipses were not seen as a sign of misfortune, but as an opportunity for humility and spiritual awareness. During the Crusades, chroniclers recorded blood-red moons over Jerusalem. Christian observers sometimes interpreted them as signs of divine favor or judgment, while Muslim observers saw them as remarkable events reflecting God's will. The same sky inspired different responses, showing how perspective shapes our interpretation of the heavens. Celts, Norse, and European folklore. Among the Celts of the British Isles, the moon was deeply tied to cycles of fertility, harvest, and renewal. Druids, who studied the heavens closely, may have regarded a blood-red moon as a disruption of natural order, a warning of famine, plague, or the wrath of unseen gods. Some later traditions held that such a moon foreshadowed violence, whether in the form of tribal warfare or divine retribution. The shifting of the moon's color was not just celestial, but spiritual, as though the very heartbeat of the earth had faltered. In the Norse and Germanic sagas, the moon's fate was bound to cosmic predators. Wolves, Skoll and Hati, were said to chase the sun and the moon across the heavens. When an eclipse turned the moon red, people believed it was because one of the beasts had caught it, sinking its teeth into the glowing orb. This imagery fed into the prophecy of Ragnarok, the doom of the gods, when the wolves would finally devour both sun and moon, plunging the world into darkness and chaos. The crimson eclipse thus became a glimpse into the end of days, a rehearsal for the apocalypse. As the centuries passed, European folklore layered new fears onto these ancient visions. In the Gothic imagination of the Middle Ages, the blood-red moon became associated with creatures of the night. Vampires, who thrived under darkness, were said to grow stronger or more restless beneath its crimson glow. Werewolves, already tied to lunar cycles, were thought to be most dangerous during eclipses, when the boundaries between the human and the beast blurred. These tales were less about astronomy and more about the psychological weight of the eclipse. When the sky itself turned unnatural, it gave license for stories of monsters, curses, and the breaking of ordinary order. For both the Celts and Norse, as well as later Europeans, the blood-red moon was not merely a spectacle. It was an intrusion, a reminder that the heavens could turn against humanity, that cosmic balance was fragile, and that fear itself could shape myth into prophecy. Emperors and conquerors. The blood moon was not only the language of myth. It sometimes appeared in the chronicles of history itself, casting its shadow over emperors, conquerors, and nations. In 331 BC, on the eve of Alexander the Great's battle at Gaugamela, ancient sources described the moon turning red. To the Persians, it was read as an ill omen of defeat. Alexander's priests, however, interpreted it as a sign of his coming triumph, a celestial endorsement of his destiny to rule. The battle ended with Persia shattered and Alexander's empire rising from its ashes. In the early 1500s, stranded in Jamaica and facing starvation, Christopher Columbus turned to the sky. Sources from his son and chroniclers recount that he used a predicted lunar eclipse, when the moon turned blood red, to convince the local Taino people that his god was displeased with them. Terrified, they resumed supplying food to the desperate sailors. In this moment, knowledge of the heavens became a weapon of survival. And in 1865, history and memory entwined in a moment of national grief. Some of Abraham Lincoln's contemporaries recalled a blood-red moon rising above Washington on the night of his assassination. Whether coincidental or color by memory, the image lingered, as though the heavens themselves mourned the fallen president. From Alexander to Lincoln, the blood moon has appeared in the backdrop of human history, its glow taken as a sign of fate, judgment, or divine presence, a cosmic shadow woven into the tapestry of power and loss. The astronomical phenomenon in observing today. The blood moon is not just a mythic symbol, but a natural marvel shaped by Earth's atmosphere and orbital mechanics. During a total lunar eclipse, Earth passes directly between the sun and the moon, casting its shadow upon the lunar surface. The moon doesn't disappear. Instead, it takes on a reddish hue. This occurs because Earth's atmosphere scatters shorter wavelengths of light, like blue, and allows longer wavelengths, such as red, to pass through and reach the moon, a process known as Rayleigh scattering, the same effect that colors our skies blue by day and red at sunrise or sunset. The exact shade of red can vary depending on the amount of dust, pollution, or volcanic ash in Earth's atmosphere, which can enhance the scattering effect, giving the moon a darker or more vibrant hue. This week, on the night of September 7th, 2025, a total lunar eclipse will turn the moon blood red. The spectacle will last 82 minutes, from 1730 to 1852 Universal Time Coordinated, and will be visible in its entirety from much of Asia, the east coast of Africa, and Western Australia. Observers in Europe, Africa, and Oceania will glimpse at least part of the eclipse, while those in the Americas will miss the show entirely, as the moon rises too late. For those in the Western Hemisphere, there is still a celestial treat, September's full corn moon. Named by North American Indigenous peoples, it marks the season of the corn harvest, connecting the moon's cycles with the rhythms of life on Earth. The wonders do not end there. On the night of September 8th, the moon, Saturn, and Neptune will align within about 3.5 degrees of each other. Saturn will shine clearly to the naked eye, while Neptune will require binoculars or a telescope. Depending on your location, this cosmic trio will reach their highest point in the night sky an hour or two after midnight, but they will be visible for most of the night, offering another reminder of the beauty and precision of our solar system. Watching a lunar eclipse is safe with the naked eye. Find a clear, unobstructed view of the sky, away from city lights, and you can witness this beautiful spectacle firsthand. From myth and legend to astronomy and seasonal cycles, the blood moon continues to inspire wonder, connecting humanity to the cosmos across time and space. Thank you for joining us on this journey through myth, history, and the cosmos. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next cosmic adventure. And tell us in the comments, which blood moon story fascinated you the most? See you next time.